Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who do rule well and teach this truth with all honesty and sincerity. Salutations to you, brothers around the four corners of the earth that push this truth with all honesty and sincerity with great diligence to wake up the hopeful elect of Israel. Double shalom to you, Akim, that come looking like the heathen, but you are in fact of the stock of Israel, and you hold near and dear this truth, and follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities, wherever you may be scattered. Shalom to the few sincere Akwatim that listen and learn in silence, playing your creation role as the Lord commanded you to, which is in all subjection, reverencing your husbands. This your brother Azar from GMS St. Louis, and got this story of this teen female lures man on a date and watches her boyfriend unalive him. Now, I played a story and I grabbed some precepts. Lord willing, you be edified. You really have to you can't be thinking with the little head. It's never a good idea. You know, these women are not in their natural use anymore. They're thugs for the most part. They're aggressive, untrustworthy, manipulative. You just can't never tell, but being thirsty, I got a friend back when we was in school, he would say thirst wins. But, it doesn't win, man. Being thirsty can lead you to, your demise. Not saying the young man was thirsty, but you just never know what spirit is on these women, man. You never know what spirit they're in. You see, and ultimately, you just have to, play everything safe, man. I'll play this and grab some precepts, and Lord willing, you be edified.
When Jarrell Pryor agreed to meet a woman he connected with online, he thought it was just a first date. He had no idea it would be his last night alive. Jarrell was a proud father, a girl dad. Now that little girl has to face a world without him. No more bedtime stories, no father-daughter dances, and one day, no dad waiting at the end of the aisle to walk her into a new chapter of life. What started as a simple night out allegedly ended in a deadly setup. Indianapolis police say Jarrell was ambushed, allegedly lured into a trap by the very woman he'd hoped to get to know. She reportedly was not alone. Detectives believe she was working with her boyfriend. An alleged plan to rob Jarrell turned violent and ended in murder. I'm Kennedy Walker, and I'll walk you through the chilling final moments of Jarrell Pryor's life and the twisted betrayal that left a community searching for justice. For this story, we take you to Indianapolis, Indiana, January 2025. According to court documents obtained by Law and Crime, Jarrell Pryor's murder began with a text and ended with an alleged deadly setup. Just hours before he was killed, police say Jarrell messaged a young woman he'd met online, 19-year-old Alexis Hawkins. The message was just 3 words: when you free. The affidavit says Hawkins responded. She told him when she was available and agreed to go on a date. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. While she was allegedly texting Jarrell, Hawkins was reportedly messaging someone else on Instagram, her boyfriend, 18-year-old Brian Winston Jr. Investigators say Hawkins was working out the details of her date with Pryor while secretly coordinating with Winston behind the scenes. Jarrell had no idea, no clue that Hawkins was in a relationship or that anything could go wrong. It was just a date, and maybe, if things went well, a chance to meet up again. But police say it was never about the date, it was a trap. That night, Jarrell met Hawkins in person. They sat together in his car, and shortly before 1 a.m., Hawkins' boyfriend allegedly appeared and opened fire. Jarrell Pryor, just 26 years old, was shot and killed. A young father, now gone. His daughter, just 2 years old, left behind. As police began their investigation, they discovered the messages between Pryor and Hawkins. They then obtained a warrant to search Hawkins' Instagram account, and what they allegedly found raised even more red flags. Investigators say she searched phrases like news today near me, and shootings Keystone, all on the day of the murder.
You see, and she is what they would say fair or attractive, you know, and it's a natural thing. Gotta see, try to see what's to or whatever. But man, you just can't trust anybody really, you know. Outside of this truth, the brother, you really don't know what spirit is on these people. Just just people out here in relationships and just setting up plans to meet up and kill and unalive somebody. Like you gotta have a demonic spirit on you, man, to even think that that's lit or that's something cool. Like you're a piece of shit, man. um, Let me go to a precept real quick. I believe. Damn frog singing to me tonight. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, and I'll start at verse 16. These 6 things that the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift and run into mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. You see, and these two were, uh, most of these: proud, lying, shedding innocent blood, running to mischief. This was stupid as hell. Verse 20, my son, keep thy father's commandments, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thine heart, and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instructions are the way of life. You see, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. And the scriptures often refers doctrines and ideologies to women, because just like a woman with her beauty, her vain beauty, and the flattering tongue, they can persuade men off their course. Just like these philosophies and ideologies, they divert you from the truth. Verse 25, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. You see, in these in the law, statutes, and commandments that the Heavenly Father gave unto us, to be a guide unto us, it keeps you out the way of evil. You see, and here Now, it's very hard to deal with people, especially if they are, they do not fear the Lord, man. You don't know what these people will do when they don't have the fear of the Lord. And these commandments, obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments, keep you, you know, safe, so to speak. If it be the Lord's will, man, like we here to play out a judgment. And I'll say this: the things you see happening, it's judgment. You know, anyone who passes, how they pass, the Lord ordained that in the heavens, man, and it happens down here on earth. You see, this is why it's important to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, man, that it may go well with thee. You see, we don't know what this young man has done. He could have been, upstanding for the most part, but for some reason the Lord saw fit for him to go out this way. You have to understand the Lord's judgment. But nevertheless, this is shows you what time it is, man. These people of the world are not to be trusted, man. She probably didn't tell him she had a man or whatever. He you know, thinking that he just pulled him a baddie and finna go on a date, and next thing you know, he out of here. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. See, when you get into these scriptures and really understand that the Lord is working with you, you have that the spirit of discernment. You you just, and it only gonna get worse, man, as we get closer and closer to the day of the Lord. But these women, man, they treacherous, man. They treacherous, and you cannot put anything past them. Um,
All on the day of the murder. Police also discovered that Hawkins had allegedly messaged several people asking for a ride near the location of the shooting around the time Jarrell was killed. When detectives questioned Hawkins the following week, she allegedly claimed she couldn't remember much about that night. She reportedly insisted she didn't have a weapon and told police, "No weapon to say I did anything. My fingerprints aren't on anything." When asked if her fingerprints might be found inside of Jarrell's car, Hawkins reportedly replied, "It's not going to be on no weapon, though." But the moment investigators asked about a message she sent saying she was going to make a, quote, play, Hawkins allegedly stopped talking and asked for a lawyer. She was arrested shortly after and charged with murder and robbery resulting in serious bodily injury. Winston was charged as well with murder, felony murder, and robbery. Now,
See, just still proud. You're not gonna find my prints on nothing. Hey, what you thought you wasn't gonna get booked? They could still charge you with it. You an accessory. You was a conspirer. You conspired with this man to take another man's life. You see, and according to the scriptures, you supposed to be put to death. He that killeth with a sword must be killed with a sword, man. Go to the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25. And sort of 13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, meaning the mind, being crazy, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. You see, because a woman's wickedness knows no bounds, man. A woman would take her own child out, man. You know, they think they give a damn about your life? They are taking their own children's life. Verse 17, the wickedness of a woman changes her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. You know, and you can look at these women and tell. And a lot of times they try to put this makeup on and try to hide how they really look. And it, a lot of times, oftentimes, more than not, it makes them look that much more wicked. You see the demons on them, man. Verse 19, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. These 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 women ain't right, man. You see, even King Solomon said, out of 1,000 men, one have I found. Out of 1,000 women, I found none. Talking about righteous men and women. How much more today? Verse 21, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. And this is just, gems, man. Because that's how a lot of men get got. Just marveling over the beauty of a woman. But oftentimes you see the more beautiful they are on the outside, the more wicked and sour and rotten they are on the inside. You see? And most men don't see this unless you are privy to be in certain areas or among women, or if you work with them, if you you know when I have my lawn service and doing different things freelance, you see and overhear a lot of the things that women say when they think you're not paying attention. And if you just let them talk, they will expose themselves. Verse 24, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. And this is what Esau Edom has done in this society. He has given women liberty to roam the streets, man, causing mischief. And it's, it's to ensure as much chaos as possible. That's the agenda, to turn everything upside down. Let's go to the book of Romans. One in, I believe, verse 25. Who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. You see, and these women not women anymore. They're not delicate. They're not modest. They're not dainty. They're ruthless, man. They're not shamefaced. They lovers of themselves. Mostly this lesbian lifestyle is rampant. They're not keepers of the house. They're not nurturing mothers that much anymore. Their whole use is against the nature they were created for. You know, they want to be men, and Esau sets them up to chase this vain imagination and this goal of theirs. But what he's not going to tell you, you're going to ruin yourself in the process. But that's okay with him because misery loves company. See, in a righteous society, there will be accountability for women, for everyone. You got to be accountable. And what they read on from this news clip, she just still wasn't trying to have any accountability, as if she didn't do anything at all. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 26. And it reads, I find more, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 25. I apply my heart to know, his mind to know, and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even the foolishness and madness, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman, whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. And this is from the scriptures, man. So, whatever this young man did, the Lord saw fit for him to go out this way. Behold, this have I found, said the preacher. That's what Ecclesiastes means, preacher. Counting one by one. And this is King Solomon talking. Counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. You see? So, how much more wicked are these women of today's time? If it wasn't none found then, out of 1,000, they only found one man, and out of 1,000 women, none. Just things to keep in mind, you know. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and said, I have done no wickedness. And you see her what they read her statements. You're not gonna find my prints on any weapon. Like basically like she didn't do anything wrong. You orchestrated and put the play together. Like you said, you got to go make a play. You guilty, man. You guilty. So First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. And this fornication is talking about the immoral um, lust, man. The immoral acts. Not a man with a woman, or you got to be married, or you fornicate. No, it's talking about other than, it's talking about adultery, the immoral sexual acts. But even the Apostle Paul said it's better if a man not touch a woman. You see? It's a slippery slope, and how much more today in these times? Let's go back to the book of Sirach. 42 and verse 11. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies, and a byword in the city, and a reproach among the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. Now, what would her family think? You know, shoot, people gonna look at her family different. Her father, mother. You know, they gonna look at them. They gonna look at them some type of way. That's how you bring shame to your family, man. Behold, not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women. For from garments cometh a moth, and from women wickedness. You see? So these is things that you just have to understand dealing with women, man. Especially in America, aka Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, the great whore. It's mentioned in the scriptures. Let's go to the book of Micah, chapter 7 and verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? My eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. And you're going to see a lot of judgment happening to these women, man, because one thing about this place, a lot of women have gotten away with a lot of treachery and wickedness, man, and manipulation and lies. And the Lord is going to bring that judgment up on them, man, in these end times. You're going to see a lot of women getting judged because a lot of women behave this way, but they get away with it. And they're not held accountable. So when you see these judgments happening to these women, just know that the Lord ordained it in the heavens and they're playing out their judgment on earth. Hope this has been an edifying lesson. I'm going to say Kwame Yasharala, Shalom, and the Baba Ball.